So, I did a thing. I got hired to record an audiobook. So for anyone watching who isn't aware of it, I've actually spent the past 4 or 5 years working on getting into voiceover. That's right. By daytime, drywall taper. By also daytime, aspiring voiceover artist. And over those past few years, I've been able to do a few radio commercials, TV commercials, and a bunch of e-learning scripts. I've also gotten the chance to work on a bunch of Foley projects in the studio, but that's not voiceover. But it's still professional recording experience. But it was super cool. So I got a call from the studio it was late December, early January. They said they had about 30 books that they needed turned into audiobooks. And would I be interested in recording one? Well, of course I would. So I went into the studio and recorded the introduction to the book as my audition. The book is called Amazing Cats. It's a collection of short stories about cats who are amazing. Oh man, I went through the entire gamut of emotions. So I was super excited to get the call from the studio and totally thrilled to have the chance to narrate something like this. That's cool. But I was also really nervous and, well, I was scared of it. Because prior to this, the longest project I've ever really done was like 2 hours long. The finished length of this one is going to be something like 6 or 7 hours, which means 12 to 15 hours in the studio. So that was pretty intimidating all on its own. And there's also the fact that I'm a creature of habit, and new stuff and change kind of scares me, if I'm honest with you. And I get nervous all the time over the dumbest little things. So then when it's something big and something new, I get really nervous. So my first session was the audition, the intro of the book. That was submitted as the audition. The publisher liked it and said, yeah, get this guy to read the book. So I went into the studio to start recording, and I had the worst session I've ever had in my life. It was brutal. I got nervous, I got scared, and I totally got inside my head over it. And I couldn't match my tone properly to the audition we had recorded before. And the more that I couldn't do it, the worse I got. Like to the point where I was afraid they were going to fire me. And then a little bit later, I was actually afraid that they weren't going to fire me. Well, in the end, I was not fired. Thankfully, I've gotten to know the studio engineer rather well over the past few years. And he was able to talk me through a bunch of stuff and kind of help me get my head screwed on straight. And I'm glad. Even though that second session went horribly wrong, the third session went okay. And then after that, things started to go really well. I started to hit the groove and just kind of get into it. And I was able to do all the stuff I needed to do without thinking about it. That was great. And after that, the project became fun. It was a lot of fun to go into the studio every day for an hour before work and just record for an hour. So as I'm recording this video now, it's Monday, March 16th, and we finished recording the book last Wednesday. So that's cool. It's really awesome to have that notch in my voiceover belt. And something else that was really cool? Okay, so the studio I was recording in is the same studio that worked on the Mass Effect series. And to take it just a step further, I got to record this book in the Commander Shepard booth. How cool is that? Okay, if I'm honest, I haven't played any of the Mass Effect games. I haven't played a lot of video games because I'm bad at them. But it's just really cool to know that I got to record my first ebook in the same booth as Commander Shepard was recorded. That's awesome. And another fun fact, turns out that Commander Shepard and I both like to use the same coffee cup when we're in session. So, if ever Commander Shepard and I are in a session together, there's gonna be a fight, followed shortly by my funeral. I will be missed. I hope. But I also got to learn some cool and fun words, like superfecundation. It's not regular fecundation, it's superfecundation. All in all, it was a really cool experience. I'm really glad that first of all, I was able to get the opportunity to do this. And second of all, I'm really glad that I was able to fight through my fear. Because I've run into that same fear a number of times. Most specifically, when I was taking singing lessons. And unfortunately, I let the fear win. And I ended up dropping out. And I regret that now. Maybe now that I've faced that fear in this area with the book, maybe I'll be able to face it again in singing lessons. I guess we'll see. And as one last note, I dedicate my recording of Amazing Cats to my sister Stacy. I hope you like it. And if you happen to listen to it, I hope you like it too. Anyway, that's gonna do it for today. Thank you for watching, and keep working toward your dreams. Some days they're gonna scare you, some days they're really gonna feel like work, and some days you'll really want to quit. But I have to believe that in the end, it'll be worth it. Anyway, catch you later. Bye.